I'm back and I'm actually feeling a bit better. And guess what? I'm so excited. We've got the new BYD Shark flares. Prototypes, and we're about to test fit them on the BYD Shark. Let's go. Sammy, are you ready, my man?
Ready.
All right, so we've got the BYD Shark. Let's get the level on there and the ruler, and let's have a look. All right, so we've got the standard flares on the vehicle. This is how they look, guys. Standard flares, we're gonna run them up against my 285 7017s, and these are a POS 12 tire. I used to have the 35s that are on my Tank 300 right now that we're currently working on. So the 35s went onto this, and I will still put them back on my Shark when I need them every now and then, but my everyday tire is gonna be an RT 285 7017 Predator RT with a set of Apollo wheels. So they fit 17s. How good's that look? Now, that's what they're sitting at the moment. So you're looking at about roughly 20 mil of poke, like that. So now we're gonna get the factory flares off and we're gonna run the flares. Now, as you can see, the design of it, we've kept it OEM. Everything about it is OEM. The only difference is they're 30 mil wider. So they're factory fitment. So these are a 3D print at the moment. Now, once we test them and they all line up, we'll go into full production. The mold will get made 100 grand later, and we'll have a mold for new flares for the BYD Shark, okay? It uses all your factory clips. So Sammy's gonna go grab a whole heap of factory clips right now, and we're gonna put them into this. So it uses all your factory clips. This panel here is gonna go onto the back and replace this factory panel here. So it's a two-piece solution. So that's gonna go like that, and then the flare is gonna come in. How cool is that? Now the front still has all this factory design work, as you can see. It's just a little bit more aggressive, all right? A little bit more aggressive, and you've got obviously a 30 mil increase in body width. So how cool is that? It's gonna hide all your tires, it's gonna make your car look really pumped and tough. Let's get this on, we've got all the trim clips. Sammy, let's start putting the trim clips into the flares. This is gonna be included in the kit, so we're gonna supply all your new trim clips with the kit. Now there's no double-sided tape to hold this onto the vehicle, not like a lot of flares on the market. And with previous ones we've sold that we've had nightmares with trying to fit them to cannons and stuff, they just don't fit very well. So when the new BYD Shark came out, I didn't actually want to do some aftermarket flares. But we're working now with a big factory in China that does really good quality work, and it's all designed, we 3D scanned the whole car. We've designed something that looks aesthetically pleasing whilst making it look more aggressive, and it's all factory fitment. It literally fits like a factory flare. All right, Sammy, let's go. So Sammy's gonna undo these. So what size are these, Sammy?
10 mils.
10 mil. So you got 3 of them? So he's gonna remove the factory mud flap, get that dirty mud flap out of the way. 1 10 mil underneath. So that's 4 10 mils in total. 3 on the mud flap and 1 underneath the flare. Now we're gonna pull this off. Okay, then we're gonna remove some of the trim clips that are broken. These flares have been off that many times on my car. Anyway, we're gonna throw those in the bin. We've put all the new trim clips in the new flare, and then we're gonna pop these off and then put them onto my flares and then get them installed. So the flare's ready to go on the car. Just remember, I've got a bull bar on here. So we're gonna see how this all lines up, and then we might make an adapter plate for our bull bars to line up with our flares. But for now, we're gonna fit it to the car, to the Shark, to the Ute, whatever you wanna call it. So you can see here, it's got 2 little notches here. So those 2 little notches will line up with these 2 little notches. So see these 2 notches here? Now that will lock into that there, and that's how that will fit. So that'll go into the car and it'll fit Mickey Mouse on your factory bumper bar, all right? So don't get scared that it doesn't come with, it's a 2-piece system, all right? So it goes like that. So let's get that off and let's factory fit this flare back on our car. Let's go. How tough does that look? Super pump guards on a BYD Shark, look at that. Now we're gonna put the factory mud flaps back in. Man, that looks sick. So that flushes it with a 285 7017. They're a POS 12 rim and a 9-inch rim. So POS 12, 9-inch wide rim with a 285 7017. I think it needs more poke than that, so I'm gonna go back to a 0 rim, I reckon. And so Sammy's just gonna put the bottom 10 mil M6 back in on the bottom, and then he's gonna put the factory mud flaps back on because they'll fit as well. So Sammy's getting ahead of himself, but let's do the back flares now. All right, so he's just moved the 13 mil on the bottom. All right, 13 mil on the bottom. Then you pop your factory flare off. Easy as that, it's all on clips. And then we got 3 10 mils to hold the mud flaps. You got 1, 2, 3 10 mils there. Pop that off. So this is going to come off with the back section. All right, one piece flare off, done. See you later. All right, let's get the new flare on. So because my car's had such a hard life, there's normally trim clips under here that you need to undo, but they're obviously they're little posh pops that go underneath, but my car's so dinted that we're not going to worry about that. They were missing on mine. Let's go. Let's get the next back flare on. Let's make it look sick. Look at that. Oh my God. So we're going to start with the flare because the secondary panel goes over the flare at the back. Pop her in. Mud flap on, let's go. So both the flares have been installed now, so let's check it with our level. Look at that, flares are on, and you've still got 5 mil gap. Yeah, pretty level. All right, so for the top of the tyre, there's a gap, you can see. Look at that. So that looks sick. That's with a 285 7017 with a POS 12 rim. So in an RT tyre. Let's check the back. So I didn't want to go too big because obviously you're not meant to increase the track width of your car too much. So we've gone for 30 mil, which is a good, compromise, because anyone that wants to put aggressive wheels on it, they're only going to put a 285 7017 for most people. So we went for your most common tyre size to keep it legal. So it still sits under the guard. And if you want to go zeros, it'll sit slightly aggressive, or maybe even neg. You could do neg 10s. But yeah, it looks sick. Flares look awesome. Let's get it outside and have a look in the light. So guys, what's your verdict on the flares? Do they look tough? Look at that. BYD Shark with the first clip-in flares on the market in Australia. So let's go. Let's get these ordered. savagetech.com.au. Jump on our website. You can pre-order now. Check it out. Woo! Let's go.